Welcome to the show, everybody. This is the Farsi Show presented by MyBookie, MyBookie.ag. Just lovely to have you along for the ride. Your Philadelphia Phillies complete the sweep of the Los Angeles Dodgers. And Shohei Ohtani can't hit anybody on the Phillies, especially Zach Wheeler, especially Aaron Nola, and especially Matt Strom, who shut him the hell down on two separate occasions in this series as the Phillies break out the brooms against the Dodgers. I loved this series. And before we recap the game, before we get into Kyle Lowry rejoining the Sixers, which I was a little bit surprised to see, we got to get into this right out of the gate. And I don't like starting the show off with clips or, the sound bites, whatever. But this is just so perfect because it really does, I think, highlight the star of the show over this 3-game series. And everyone was great. Everyone was great. Johan Rojas was great, especially yesterday. Center field, making that incredible play in the 7th inning. You had the Trea Turner fella. Oh, my goodness, great. 6 home runs now in the month of July. Oh, wow. And there's going to be an all-star break. He's going to hit like 10 home runs this month. That's amazing. Kyle Schwarber hitting the Schwar bombs, right? Yeah, that's great. All of it was great. It was amazing. It was fantastic. But the star of the show, can you guess it? Can you guess it? It's you. It's you, Philadelphia, because you just feel that playoff atmosphere coming through the television. I'm sure you feel it when you walk into Citizens Bank Park as well. It is electric, and that electricity comes through the TV and hits me on my sofa. It goes through my laptop where I'm tippity-tapping and taking all the notes and all that, and I can just feel the atmosphere at CBP because I have been there for the playoff games. I have been there for the big games, and you guys are creating this incredible atmosphere down there at CBP. All 3 sellouts throughout this series. I know Ohtani kind of helps the situation and elevates the situation, but when you guys get an opportunity like you get in this series or really all year long, and looking at the midway point of the season, you guys are a huge part of this. And it comes through, and it is so much fun. And after the game, I believe it's David Murphy of Inquirer.com who asked the question of Aaron Nola about the atmosphere he's been pitching in at Citizens Bank Park this season and the atmosphere he and his teammates pitched in this this series in July. And listen to what Aaron Nola has to say about it.
The atmosphere of this series, I mean, midweek series, middle of the summer, you've been here when it wasn't like that and there weren't 45,000 people here. I mean, did you ever look around and kind of think about what you guys have built? And, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a really good crowd these past couple days. A good crowd all season long, and when I came up, it wasn't like that for sure, as you guys know. And what I've been really blessed to go through a rebuild and to where we're at right now. There's been a lot of change. A lot of studs come in and help our team out, and we got a really good team now. And it's been the same pretty much since 2022. And I feel like that's why we're having a really good year. We know how to play with each other. We have good chemistry, and I think that helps out a lot. And we enjoy being around each other. So I think the camaraderie we built, the team that we've built, is built to win. And yeah, it's way more fun than it used to be. I mean, obviously, being on the field in front of crowds like that during the regular season, especially like you look at on a midweek game, and it's kind of like that. So it's amazing.
I don't know how many times he said amazing, but it seemed like a lot. Sound courtesy NBC Sports Philadelphia. Good Lord. You rarely see Aaron Nola smile, especially after a game. Even a good game, you very rarely see him smile. And we'll let you hear from him about just facing Ohtani. The smile's not on his face. And the guy won those battles twice in this game, including throwing the hardest pitch he has thrown so far this season as a little get off the plate. Get off the plate there, Shohei Ohtani. That's my inside corner. You get off the plate. We'll get to that. Didn't smile. He didn't smile in that instance. Smiles talking about the crowd. Smiles talking about the turnaround that he's seen with this franchise, rebuilding, all of it. I mean, one of the things I had to be reminded of through the Cole Hamels retirement ceremony and all that, I forgot the story about Cole Hamels saying in Chicago after his no-hitter, hey, who throws tomorrow? And Aaron Nola, a sheepish little, 23-year-old, I think at the time, he like raises his hand like, I go tomorrow, mister. It was like, good luck. Like, that's the transition you got to think of. Like, one of the last piece of the World Series team gone, Aaron Nola pitches the next day. I don't know if there's a better metaphor than that. Pretty spectacular. And then yesterday he just goes out there and dominates in an incredible atmosphere. When Johan Rojas made that catch, in center field yesterday, that could have very well been an RBI triple. And Nola even talked about it after the game, saying that, at that part of the park, and we all know this, but Johan Rojas doesn't close in 100 feet from where he started when the ball was hit to where he ended up making the leaping catch. He doesn't make that catch. That part of the ballpark hits off the angle wall. Marsh is running in to try to help him out. That ball ricochets back to left field, and the next thing you know, you could have, I think it was Lux at the time. It was Hernandez. You could have Hernandez standing on third and a runner already across the plate. So that could be trouble. But Johan Rojas made the grab. Matt Strahm raises his cap to him, as a matter of fact, in center field, saying, thank you for that, friend. And that was only the second out of the inning. They get the third out of the inning, and they start trotting off the field. And Johan Rojas gets a standing ovation as he goes back into the dugout. Also had an RBI single in the game. Like, that's the stuff you just feel it into. When in the second inning, you did have Aaron Nola strike out Shohei Ohtani. You just feel the eruption. This is going to be the longest All-Star break in the history of All-Star breaks. At least it's going to feel that way. I'm going to miss the hell out of the Phillies. Now, no. Go face the Oakland A's, as the A's are back for a 3-game series. Go face the Oakland A's. Take care of business in that series, please, and thank you. Don't be, riding the high and then all of a sudden come crashing down for the All-Star break and then make it seem like that All-Star break couldn't come at a better time. But I don't think that's going to happen for the record. I think the Phillies are going to handle the business. The pitching matchups there are a little interesting. We'll get to that. But this is going to feel like the longest All-Star break in the history of All-Star breaks with the way the Phillies are playing baseball right now. It is pretty spectacular. Absolutely spectacular. So wanted to start off with that and just congratulate the fans for just making this so much fun. And, of course, the Phillies being worth this much fun. Certainly worth the price of admission these days, that Philadelphia Phillies squad. Maybe not in the early days of Aaron Nola being the anchor of the rotation. So good stuff there. As far as the game, as far as the actual game went, so many things to highlight in this one. And I do want to start it off in that first inning where the Phillies, they allowed 2 base runners. If I had to say anything about Aaron Nola, laboring is the term that comes to mind. He ended up with 6 innings. 1 run was earned. But in the early goings, especially, first inning, he needs 21 pitches to get through it. Gets through it unscathed in terms of no runs crossing the plate, so that was good. Gave up a walk. He walked Freddie Freeman. He gave up an infield single to Hernandez, infield single to third, and then was able to get out with Pais popping out to Alec Boehm at third. 21 pitches in that first inning. Trea Turner comes up in the bottom of the first inning, and he belts a home run opposite field, his first opposite field home run of the season, his 6th home run of the month. It's July. Yesterday was July 11th, and he's got 6 home runs in the month. Not bad, Trea Turner. And he went opposite field, first one of the season, then went opposite field. 9th home run on the year for Trea Turner. 6 of his 9 home runs, coming in the month of July. He rounds the bases. Phillies are up 1-0. Second inning, another laboring inning there for Aaron Nola. Miggy Rojas goes up there, gets a double to lead things off. You're thinking, oh boy, all right, leadoff runner. You're going to be facing maybe Ohtani later in the inning. He strikes out Outman, gets him on 3 pitches, looking at a fastball. Taylor works a walk. Now, this was interesting to me because I thought a run was scoring here, and I thought it was going to be a tie game. Lux hits the single to right field to Johan Rojas. I could have sworn there was no way you weren't going to get a run across the plate in that instance. You did not get a run across the plate in that instance. For whatever reason, even though Nick Castellanos fielded the ball a little off balance, they decided to not send the runner there, the Dodgers, and they held him at third base. So instead of getting a run across the plate there, because they know they have Ohtani coming up later, they decided to hold him back. Now this is where Ohtani comes to the plate, runner in scoring position. You have a chance here for the Dodgers to really blow things up and actually take a 2-run lead. Instead, Aaron Nola throws Shohei Ohtani let me see if I have it here.
Fastball to Ohtani, and the second was it was in.
I think it was at 0-2. Yeah, because it was a ball. He gets up on the count on Ohtani with he gets him at 0-2. He throws the fastball inside. The fastball he threw inside was the hardest pitch he has thrown all season. 95.5 miles per hour. That's the fastest pitch that Aaron Nola has thrown this year, according to Todd Zlecki, who's actually asking the question that you'll hear in a second. Ohtani kind of takes a step back, gets him off the plate a little bit. Then he drops in the devastating knuckle curve, and he strikes him out on a knuckle curve in the dirt. Next man up in that inning is Smith. Smith grounds into the 6-4 fielder's choice, and Aaron Nola and the Phillies are out of that inning. Aaron Nola and the Phillies are still up 1-0. You roll in to the bottom of the second inning. Brandon Marsh gets a 3-1 fastball. Brandon Marsh, if it's a full count, if it's a 2-2 count, Brandon Marsh, it seems more often than not, he will get fooled by a fastball, where it'll be a fastball right down the middle of the plate. He takes it and just goes, well, yep, I'm not hitting that, and then walks away. If he knows the fastball's coming, like in a 3-1 count, for instance, he's going to barrel it up. And that's exactly what he did in that second inning when he got a 3-1 fastball and he put it 406 feet off Knack, who was pitching at the time, the first batter that he actually faced. And Marsh put it in the right field stands. It's a 2-0 ball game at that point. Then you roll into the third inning. You start to see Aaron Nola settle a little bit. He had 45 pitches in the first 2 innings of this game. Throws an 11-pitch third inning. Finally, it's good to see that. Got a Hernandez a strikeout in that one. That was good to see. Phillies go down 1-2-3 in the bottom of the third. Both teams go down 1-2-3 in the fourth inning. That was another faster inning for Aaron Nola. He went 14 pitches in that one. Then in the fifth inning, Lux hits the home run off him for the only run of the game. This was a fastball, little up in the zone, and Lux puts it. If there's the least valuable home run at Citizens Bank Park, the least majestic home run, the most barely a home run, it's this one. Marsh even looked confused. Like, are we even going to count that? Because it barely went over the wall, and it was barely fair. I guess we're going to count it. So that makes it a 2-1 ball game. Then you face Ohtani again. Ohtani handles the business right there, strikes him out for a second time in the game. So he makes Ohtani go 0-for-3 against him in the ball game, which was great to see. It's an 18-pitch inning that ends up being for Aaron Nola. He comes back out in the sixth inning with 88 pitches under his belt. He has a 1-2-3 sixth inning. He is at 13 pitches in that inning. And at the end of the game, by the time it was all said and done, he finished with 101 pitches, which is a pretty standard outing for him. 6 innings of work, 4 hits, 1 run. But the Phillies offense was not done. The bullpen was not done. It's been one of another amazing thing about the Phillies, especially Matt Strahm. Jeff Hoffman closing it out for the save the other night. Jose Alvarado, is good to see him not give up a run yesterday. So that was nice. But all series long, this bullpen had been fantastic. You see the Phillies then in the bottom of the sixth inning start to add a couple more runs. Brandon Marsh gets the RBI triple on a 3-1 slider. So he doesn't go fastball this time. He sees a slider, puts down the right field line, busting it from jump. Stott had led off the inning by striking out. Castellanos got a single before that. Then Marsh stepped up, brought Castellanos around to score. What? Castellanos scores from first on this triple down the right field line. Brandon Marsh goes to third. Knack goes out. Vesia comes in. Stubbs reaches base on the catcher's interference. Schwarber strikes out. Turner flies out to center field. But bottom line, after the 6th inning, it goes from a 2-1 game to a 4-1 game. Matt Strahm pitches the 7th inning. Vargas flies out to center. He walks Taylor on 5 pitches. Kike Hernandez pinch hits for Lux. And this is the play that Johan Rojas made, drifting over to center from center field to deep left center field. At the angled wall, makes the great leaping catch to keep a run off the board. And then the Phillies face Yarbrough on the bottom of the 7th inning. Nothing going there. Despite 2 walks, 1 intentional. Then in the 8th inning, Kyle Schwarber comes in. Also interesting, Jeff Hoffman pitched the 8th, not the 9th. Likes the matchups. He's going to continue. Rob Thompson's going to continue to play the matchups. That's when, if you'll excuse me. That's when Kyle Schwarber continued the home run smashing. It's like people only really do things because they get paid. And that's just really sad. Kyle Schwarber hits the home run. For the people on the podcast, I'm now wearing my Wawa Schwarbomb hat. Did I say Wawa? I said Wawa. Don't you want a Wawa right now? Gotta have a Wawa. Anyway, Kyle Schwarber hits the home run. The curveball. Kyle Schwarber's 2 home runs in this series. One has been more. I would say his first home run in this series that he went opposite field with was more impressive because it was a changeup that he put to opposite field about 5 rows back in left field. Yesterday's home run, even though it was to the second deck, dropped by those 2 dudes who didn't call it. You got to call it, man. The dad, whose son ended up getting the baseball, whose son was crying, unfortunately, because that is sad, It was an opportunity. Kid had a Schwarber jersey on. It was a Schwarber home run. The dad had Bryce Harper Hawaiian shirt style on. Okay. And then they ended up giving it a ball anyway. But you got to call it, dads. It looked like 2 dads were out there, and neither called for it. Got their signals crossed. That's tough. But Schwarber put it up there to the second deck. It was dropped by the fans. Only poor showing by the fans in this game, and in the series. And he put it 423 feet, made it a 5-1 game, and then Jose Alvarado closed the door in the 9th inning, and the Phillies sweep the Dodgers out of Philadelphia. It's a lovely thing. I'll keep this on for a while. After the game, Rob Thompson was asked about the importance of a sweep.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's 3 wins, and you take those 3 games off the schedule. You win 3 more. You put 3 more in your win column. That's how I sort of look at it. I'm not really looking at head to head at this point, because like I said, we got a long way to go.
That's the attitude you want from your skipper. We ain't done nothing yet. Well, it's 3 games. We won 3, and now we have more wins. If we would have lost them, we wouldn't have those wins. But now we have those wins because there was 3 of them, and we got them now. That's good. Okay, thank you. How about the amazingness that is Trea Turner? I've mentioned Trea Turner in the month of July already has 6 home runs. He had another 2 hits last night. His overall batting average is up to 348 with a 393 on base percentage. Oh, my goodness gracious. What else can Trea Turner do, ladies and gentlemen? In the month of July alone with those 6 home runs, he's got 15 RBIs. He's in 432 with a 462 on base percentage. Trea Turner getting it done. His skipper, Rob Thompson. Trea Turner getting it done.
Yeah, it's huge, and he's really swinging the bat. I mean, he's barreling everything up. It doesn't matter what's fastball, breaking ball. Doesn't matter. And he goes opposite field to get us going and get us on the board. And when you score in the first inning, it puts the other team on its heels. And I thought that was a huge.
I would say it's pretty huge. He is, without question, and he's been in WCB mode. He has been in Captain America mode when he was just barreling up baseballs for Team USA. before he went into his horrendous slump to start his career as a Philly. And that seems like ancient history right now. It's at the point where, and every once in a while, you get a baseball player that gets in this kind of mode where he just steps up to the plate and you're like, he's going to hit a home run. And before you can even think about it, he's going to come up with a big hit here. Oh, there it is. And he's just playing phenomenal. To say he's barreling up everything, he's barreling up everything. And to see him yesterday in particular come up with the opposite field home run, yeah, I'd say he's barreling things up pretty well. One of the big stories, of course, throughout this series was Shohei Ohtani's lack of production. And I just felt like it was going to happen at some point. And I know I've told you guys before, and I was really trying not to wish it into existence, obviously, but I was waiting for Ohtani to put one on Ashburn Alley. I was waiting for it to happen. I was hoping it wouldn't matter for anything. I actually said yesterday, it's 5-1 or it's 5-0 and he hits it. Score ended up being 5-1, but not because of that. And the Phillies just were aggressive as hell with him. Zach Wheeler took care of business, went right after him. I mean, Zach Wheeler facing Shohei Ohtani for the first matchup of this series. I mean, if there's such a thing as setting a tone, that's set the tone. I'm going to go right after you. Not only am I going to go right after you with 3 pitches, I'm going to go right after you. I'm going to throw at your head, or at least make you think I'm going to throw at your head by going up and in on both occasions with those fastballs in the first at bat of the series. That's pretty special. Matt Strahm in the last 2 games, to be able to go, last 3 games, really be able to go after him, or 2 of the 3, excuse me, to really be able to go after him. Extremely special. And then Aaron Nola today, or yesterday rather, being able to go after him. That was pretty special. There's no question things get heightened when you know it's globally the most famous baseball player playing ball right now. He comes into town, everything's heightened. And the Phillies rose to the occasion. Boy, did they rise to the occasion, especially yesterday. Ohtani, Smith, Freeman. Smith was 0 for the series, I believe. But yesterday, those 3 top of the order guys, 0 for 11. Here's Rob Thompson facing Ohtani and Nola start yesterday.
Yeah, keeping those guys in the ballpark is key, and I just think our guys executed at the right time.
How would you evaluate Nola to this point, ending his first half?
Tremendous. Mr. Consistency. I mean, that's what he's been. You look at tonight's game, and the first 2 innings, he's in trouble. He just keeps grinding, keeps battling. In the second inning there, he strikes out Ohtani and then gets a ground ball from Smith. And then he settled in, and I thought as the game went on, he got better. So he's been dynamite all year.
4 strikeouts in the series for Shohei Ohtani. Hitless yesterday, 2 for 4 in the middle game of this series, and then 1 for 2 with a walk in the 10-1 Phillies victory. 19-5, the Phillies outscore the Dodgers in this series. 19-4. Not a bad day. 19-5, excuse me. Not a bad day at the office, especially when the office is full of Philadelphia Phillies fans going bananas over how well their team is playing. I played for you, Aaron Nola, talking about the atmosphere and how great it was. This is that at bat that I referenced earlier. This is Aaron Nola asked by Todd Zalecky of MLB.com about facing Shohei Ohtani in that second inning and whether or not he was really going right after and whether or not that fastball was meant to back him.
Fastball to Ohtani, and the second was it was inside. Was that designed to kind of get him off the plate a little bit?
Yeah, it's just I wanted to, either hit the corner right there or miss inside right there to set that curveball up, and it worked. He's quick in there too, so I didn't want to leave the ball over the plate.
It worked. It worked. That's the most Aaron Nola. That's the most Aaron Nola Aaron Nola has ever been. Yeah, wanted to set it up inside. It worked. Damn right it worked. He was golfing on that knuckle curve on the next pitch. Golfing, son. Buried in the dirt. The other thing with Nola yesterday, I know I mentioned his high pitch count through 6 innings, 101. Ended up being pretty average, but the fact that he had 9 strikeouts didn't help the pitch count. It helped the outing. It helped 6 innings, 1 run, the home run. Certainly helped that. But as far as the pitch count went, it did not help that. Some bad news that we got yesterday, Zach Wheeler's back is still bothering him. So not going to make the start on Sunday. Still have yet to see who's going to make that start on Sunday. I'm hoping then that means he doesn't pitch in the All-Star game. I would assume that means he's not going to pitch in the All-Star game. He's supposed to take the All-Star break to just rehab. I mean, rehab's probably too strong a word. To relax, to rest his back, I guess. I hope that's what ends up happening. And then I hope Christopher Sanchez ends up getting the nod to go to the All-Star game. You know, you can't not have 7 all. Then you have 8 All-Stars. And to go back to yesterday's theory, hey, if you have 8 All-Stars or at least 7 All-Stars, I mean, it makes sense that you have 2 MVPs. You know, your 2 have co-MVPs in the National League. One's Trey Turner, the other's Bryce Harper. It only makes sense. Bryce Harper, by the way, needs to get a swing back. Needs a little bit of BP. I'm not worried. I'm just saying, it'll come. It'll come. I have zero doubt in my mind it'll come. But Zach Wheeler not going to make the start today when they start this 3-game series with the Oakland Athletics, at least the Oakland Athletics for the time being. They'll be facing the former Philadelphia Athletics, as we all know. And on the mound today, the 61-win Philadelphia Phillies for a 6:40 start time against the Athletics are going to have Ranger Suarez back on the bump against Hogan Harris. He's 1-3 on the season with a 3.22 ERA. Ranger Suarez, both lefties, by the way, lefty versus lefty today. Ranger Suarez will yet again go for his 11th win of the season, something that Aaron Nola now leads the team in. Go figure, hon. But Ranger Suarez has not been good his last 2 outings. 15 runs scored on Ranger Suarez in his last 3 outings. 13 of them have been earned. So let's go ahead and be better at baseball, Ranger, please. Let this be the get right start. I know I've referenced last year he really sucked in July. He was terrible in July. Let's hope that we don't continue the trend where you just have like 4 or 5 starts in July where you're terrible. Let's get back to that early season flow. Let's do that tonight. Give me the warm and fuzzy. Start this series off right. That way you take a little bit more pressure off Tyler Phillips, who's going to be making his first big league start on Saturday. And then, I don't know, maybe Michael Mercado makes the start on Sunday. If you already got 2 wins, you already won the series, hey, trot out Mercado. Hey, have another go of it, son. Have at it. Cross my fingers. That's the way that works out. Hey, that's baseball. Now let's talk about basketball. The Philadelphia 76ers did something yesterday that I'm not shocked by, but I was a little surprised by, because I thought if it was going to happen, it was going to happen right around the time Kelly Oubre, Andre Drummond, but it didn't. It happened officially yesterday. Kyle Lowry is back in Philadelphia on a 1-year deal. He is 38 years old. He'll be 39 by the time the playoffs roll around, which is, fine. So Eric Gordon, 35, Kyle Lowry, 38. That's a lot of experience, I guess. As one of my buddies texted me yesterday, my buddy Bennett, I've told you guys about him before, huge Sixers fan. He's just like, well, at least one Villanova guy didn't go to New York. And I'm like, that's a great point. But Kyle Lowry's back. Speaking of surprises, I didn't expect Kyle Lowry to play a lot for the 76ers. In total, last year, when he came to the Sixers, he played 28 minutes per game. I did not think that Kyle Lowry had 28 minutes per game left in him. But he played 28 minutes flat for the Heat. He played 28.4 minutes per game with the Sixers. So put 40 seconds more. Okay. I did not expect that to happen. Points per game were the same. Excuse me, as my now allergies kick up. Assists were right around the same. 4 assists per game with the Heat, 4.6 assists per game with the Sixers. Look, you still have Maxey, who's still developing. We played the highlight for the cut the other day about Nick Nurse talking about how good Tyrese Maxey could still be in terms of the leap he could still take with his talent, how good he really is. That he's nowhere near his ceiling. The most improved player, nowhere near his ceiling. So what does that mean? He wins most improved player again when he becomes the MVP? Has it ever happened? A guy been most improved player, then he improves so much the next year, he's the MVP. I feel like that'd be back-to-back most improved player awards. No, he just really keeps improving. You could happen. You could have it. But he's still young, 23 years old, 24 when the season starts. Jared McCain, obviously, rookie player. You're going to have a lot of experience around him in Eric Gordon, 35, Kyle Lowry, 38. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I am overall happy Kyle Lowry's back. I didn't think it was going to happen because I thought that's a pretty old backcourt for the Sixers. But nonetheless, here we are. Here we are. Let me tell you about the great people at MyBookie, mybookie.ag. Download the MyBookie app to your phone, create an account, use promo code FARZI. Get up to $1,000 redeemable cash bonus at MyBookie, mybookie.ag. You want to bet on the world of baseball? You can bet on the world of baseball. WNBA, you can bet on the world of WNBA. You can do it all right there at the amazing people with MyBookie, mybookie.ag. How about the Game Time app? Download the Game Time app to your phone, create an account, use promo code FARZI, get $20 off your first purchase on the Game Time app. 3 games left in the first half of the season, the unofficial first half of the season at Citizens Bank Park. You want to go to one of these games against the A's? You want to see Tyler Phillips? You want to see Ranger Suarez today? Game Time app. Use promo code FARZI when you download the app and create an account. You get $20 off your first purchase. They have last minute ticket deals, flash ticket deals. They even have ticket deals for an hour after the event starts. How about that? All available on the Game Time app. If you want to go to a concert, you want to go to a comedy show, you can also use the Game Time app for that. Terms apply. Download the app, create an account, use promo code FARZI, get $20 off your first purchase. How about the great people at PHL Sports Nation, Philadelphia Sports Nation, enhancing your Philadelphia sports fan experience across all social media and blogs. That's PHLSportsNation.com. Before I go any further, let's just hear Aaron Nola real quick one more time on the atmosphere.
The atmosphere of this series, I mean, midweek series, middle of the summer. You've been here when it wasn't like that and there weren't 45,000 people here. I mean, did you ever look around and kind of think about what you guys have built? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. All right, let's get to the chat check and see how you wonderful people are doing on this fine Friday morning. Friday. Oh, thank you, IBH. Let me jump right to this. Yes, Farzi, loved the mix with Pete Fox. Once I heard his disdain for analytics, he was a hero. So if you haven't done it already, if you haven't subscribed to Locked On Sports Philadelphia, yours truly is over there doing postcasts, which are Locked On Sports' version of postgame shows. Do a half hour. And certain times we'll do crossover postcasts with other cities. So Pete and I did a joint show. Pete, I'll give him all the credit in the world. He hit me up. He's like, hey, do you want to do a crossover postcast? I said, let's party. And we did the final 2 games of the series, the 3-game series. We did a little crossover postcast over on Locked On Sports Philadelphia and Locked On Sports Los Angeles. Really appreciate the numbers. The numbers were great on those shows. Thank you guys. The subscriptions to Locked On Sports Philadelphia have been awesome. I appreciate you guys following me over there. But yeah, he was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. And he had some experience in Philly, so it was good to compare notes a little bit, have ourselves some good times. The only mistake I'll say he made was which one. He asked me which one I go to, Pat's or Geno's. And I was like, listen, buddy. I said, no self-respected Philadelphian goes to either of those places on the regular, certainly, and never sober and never before 2 a.m., which kind of goes hand in hand with sober. So that's that. But he did have both in the same day, which I did respect. But no, it was a lot of fun to do those shows with Pete, and I appreciate you following us over there. IBH, appreciate it. Sean Gillespie, hello. IBH also busting out the brooms and saying good morning to everybody. Wait, Reggie Washington, F the Phillies. Is that favorite? Does that mean favorite the Phillies? Like favorite it? I think that's what that means. Reggie Washington, thank you for favoriting the Phillies. We're going all the way, Fars. Thank you, Jalen Hurts burner. Wait, what? Why are you Jalen Hurts' burner and you got Reed Blankenship? Is that Reed Blankenship? That's Reed Blankenship. All right. That that would be funny if Reed Blankenship was running a burner account for Jalen Hurts. I don't like the defense, but Reed Blankenship's pretty good. That'd be pretty funny. Adam, what's going on? Morning, Farzi. Way to go, Phillies. 19 Phillies, 5 Dodgers. We hit more home runs than the Dodgers scored this series. That's true. 6 home runs? Because it was 3, right, in the 10? I don't know. My brain hurts. Mally! What's up, Mally? Ohtani looks normal against the Phillies. Yes, he does. He sucks. This Ohtani guy is supposed to be good. It is. This series certainly didn't show it. He did not look like an MVP. I wish Harper would have played all 3 games. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. You want that matchup. You want those 2 stars, 2 of the biggest stars in baseball, on the field. You want them doing all that. Oh, speaking of which, I want to throw I knew I was forgetting something. I'll get to it in a second. But, yeah, Ohtani did. I was thinking of that yesterday. I was like, this is the guy that's supposed to be clutch? Please. This is the guy that's supposed to be dominant? Please. Don't waste my time. But before I go any further, I do want to ask this question. So the Pittsburgh Pirates are 45-48. Paul Skeens is most likely going to start the All-Star game. Paul Skeens yesterday, for the second time this season, had a no-hit bid and left. Okay. This time he went 7 innings. He only walked 1. He struck out 11. He threw 99 pitches in those 7 innings. And he was pulled from the game. I want to acknowledge something here. And I've said this about Phillies pitchers in the past as well. I know that the number one concern of managers and front offices, the number one concern is health. And rightfully so. And we had a no-hitter here in Philadelphia last year with Michael Lorenzen, and he was never the same pitcher after that. You could say that it was the 125 pitches he threw, I think it was, 126, whatever. You could say it was that outing, and he was never the same after that. You could say that, fine. But if that is truly the case, I think baseball has failed a tremendous opportunity. Because one of the greatest appeals of baseball, and not to sound like an old head, but when I was growing up, one of the greatest appeals of baseball was Nolan Ryan going out there, and you would have to go out there with a small battalion to take him out of that game. And there was nothing more alpha male than a pitcher who did not want to come out of a game. And to think of guys having no hit bids in progress and be like, I'm taking you out. Like, I can remember, I think it was David Cohn and Joe Torre. David Cohn had just come back from injury, and Joe Torre had to take him out of a no-hitter because he was just coming back from injury. That I could understand because he's just coming back from injury. But when you have a guy dealing the way Skeens was dealing, and you've had instances like that here in Philadelphia where Wheeler was having a good start or Nola was having a great start, I should say, and they get taken out because the number one priority is health. And Rob Thompson always says it. I'm not going to take a guy out. I'm not going to put a player's health at risk. How is it nowadays and the pitch count's been around now for a long time, so it's nothing new. I understand what they're doing. I hate that this is the state of baseball in this one aspect. There's a lot of things baseball has done recently that I've said, good for them. They needed to do this. But I still don't understand how we have come to this point where pitchers' arms have become glass. 99 pitches is a lot of pitches for a pitcher who is going to start the All-Star game. I know it's not official yet, but he's going to start the All-Star game. A pitcher who is going to start the All-Star game, who is a rookie, and is going to start the All-Star game immediately after he was drafted. That's incredible. So I get protecting him. 99 pitches, 7 innings. Look, either way, if he finishes that game, you're probably at 130 pitches, 135 pitches if he finishes that game, maybe. They said after the game it had nothing to do with the pitch count. It had everything to do with the eye test. Okay. Skeen said he wanted to finish the game for sure, but he understands getting taken out. I hate that this is what, of all the things, I never want a designated hitter in the National League. There's a designated hitter in the National League, and I like it. I would have laughed at you 5 years ago if you would have told me anything about a pitch clock. I would have said that's the stupidest thing you could ever do. Baseball's timeless. How dare you? Now I see it, and I go, oh, no, this works out. I like this. You can't have robo-umpires fast enough, as far as I'm concerned, is that. So for all these things, I look at it now, and I always refer to myself as a non-practicing baseball traditionalist. Okay? Of all the things baseball have changed, I've embraced most of it. The thing that has been changed about baseball really over the last 20 years has been the pitch count and the way pitchers are treated. Handled is probably the better way to say that. The way pitchers are handled. I hate that. Hate it. I don't understand how for 100 years you had guys just pitching all the live long day. One guy in particular pitched until he's 47 years old, literally till his arm just doesn't work anymore. It's Nolan Ryan for Advil. And yesterday I watched the highlights. I mean, I was following the story, the day game. They had a doubleheader in Pittsburgh, if I'm not mistaken. The day game, Paul Skeens was just dealing, and I think it was Bob Nightingale, USA Today, who tweeted it out. Ho-hum. 6 innings in the book, in the books for Paul Skeens, no hits, blah, blah, blah. And yesterday he gets taken out of a no-hit bid. I know why he did. I understand why he did. That doesn't mean I have to like it. Do you ever think we'll get to a time again where pitchers just go out there and deal? And they say, I feel fine at 99 pitches. I feel fine at 105 pitches. I'm just going to keep going. Or are they just going to continue to go? No, it shows in the numbers that you will not have the same stamina in your next outing and the outing after that. And there's a real domino effect. Because if there is, I hate it. I just hate that. I know people also talk about Nolan Ryan like that, and I talk about Nolan Ryan like that, and then they also talk about, well, maybe if he didn't pitch all those innings, he actually would have won a Cy Young Award. Anyway, tell you all that, tell you this. Good morning, Sean Kilrain. What's going on? Phillies win. What a statement sweep, 9th sweep this season. What do they have, 7 sweeps in all or 7 sweeps in all of last year, and then they got 9 now at the All-Star break? That's pretty good. Mally, giving up only 5 runs this series says a lot about this pitching staff. Hells yeah, it does. You know what it says? It says that you got all-star Zach Wheeler, borderline all-star Aaron Nola, all-star getting retweeted, all-star Matt Strom, Jeff Hoffman. It says you got all-stars. April, good morning, April. What's going on? WC13, what's going on? April, ring the bell. Ohtani looked big mad. He definitely does not enjoy playing in Philly. That's atmosphere. Sean Kilray, Alonso is favored in the home run derby plus 300. I'm going with Bobby Witt Jr. at plus 700. All right. You know, I found it interesting, Sean. They were making a comment about it on the broadcast last night. By the way, 80s night at the ballpark. That's awesome. They were talking about Alec Boehm at the All-Star at the home run derby, and they were saying that during batting practice, he really belts him out of the ballpark. I hope that's true. But it got me a little concerned because what do you worry about with the home run? Or excuse me, with the home run derby? You worry about changing your swing, trying to do too much, overexerting yourself, excuse me, whatever the case might be. So if he's doing that in batting practice and can do it with some regularity in batting practice, how hard is he going to be trying to do it in the home run derby? That was the only thing that raised my eyebrows going, don't do too much there, Alec Bohm. Because ultimately, the home run derby is for the kids. You know, the home run derby is for, wow, look at that. Like, the only thing I can get little toots in the room for in sports is I could say, like, look how far he hit this ball. Like the Bryson, was it the Bryson Stott homer off the facing of the second deck in game 1? I think it was. Or game 2? I think it was. I was like, look how far he hit this. And the kids love that. You know, look how far the guy hit the ball and all that stuff. I just, as long as he comes back after the All-Star break, doing the same thing he was doing before the All-Star break, I'm obviously fine with it. But it's on my radar that it can cause some damage mentally and, you know, fatigue a player a little bit. So I'll be watching the home run derby, of course, but I don't think I'll be betting on it. But Bobby Witt Jr. is your play. Bobby Witt Jr. is your play. Mally, IBH saying hello. Mally saying hi to April. April saying hi to Mally. Adam, yeah, Phillies never trailed this series. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Hey, Jason A's in here with his new puppy. My new puppy is surprisingly pretty potty trained. My only issue is separation anxiety. Oh, that's rough. That was not a dad joke. That was not a dad joke. But congratulations on the new pup. What's the name? Can you give us the name? Have you named the new pup yet, Jason? Let us know, please. Oh, this is interesting. April, her advice to Jason, can you leave some dirty clothes for him so he has your scent? Sometimes that helps. Oh, look at this. Me not being a pet person. This is all good information. KC, just hope the Phillies are hot going into the playoffs so many seasons. The Doggers, Braves, etc. have 100+ wins. It means nothing if you lose to a hot team in a wild card. Yes, you're absolutely right. Look, I when you've been to a World Series, when you have come up short of the World Series the following year, the regular season, if it could be as entertaining as it's been for the Phillies, good. But you're right. It could be a real quick go of it in the postseason. Jason, good idea, April. Didn't think of that. All right, there we go. Look at us helping each other. We're helping each other. Oh, she sleeps in bed? That's nice, says Jason. Hasn't been a full day, and she loves us, slept in the bed, and everything. That's just beautiful. That is awesome. IBH, if we ended up playing the Dodgers in the playoffs, please don't mention the Ashburn Alley thing. I'm not going to say a word. Actually, no, now I have to because I feel like that now jinxes Shohei Ohtani, and he won't put one on Ashburn Alley. Mark, can you? Sure, Mally, just for you, buddy. Half Hindu. Kush. Ooh. I felt like I didn't miss a step. Jay say thank you. Love the Dodgers. Love sweeping the Dodgers. Oh, Sean, you're going to the. That's right. You're going to the Phillies game tonight, which today is my daughter's 16th birthday. Going to be rocking the Lenny Dykstra jersey. That's nice. That's great. Let's see if we get. Hopefully, Mason Miller does not get into the game tonight. You know what I'm saying? Really, Joe Whipp? He came back with COVID from LA. FLA, the sweep was sweet, though. Sorry to hear you got COVID, man. I thought California was supposed to be like all super precautious with. I mean, look, I'm not blaming California. What am I saying? Anyway, get well soon, Joe. Hope you're feeling all right. I can't see it with Skeens. This kid is special, in my own opinion, Farzy, but like that they say you never know. I can't see it with Skeens? You can't see it? Sean Gillespie, Nolan Ryan is still pitching somewhere. Is probably still pitching somewhere. Never should pull someone from a possible no-hitter. If you haven't seen it, I think it's still on Netflix. It's a documentary about Nolan Ryan. I think it's called Facing Nolan, and it is insane. Like Nolan Ryan retired, I want to say when I was about 11. So like in your formative years of like really being amazed by baseball, watching Nolan Ryan was, right there. So I only saw him at the end of his career, really. It's a great documentary. It really is. But it shows his work ethic and just what he put into it. It is fascinating. And it shows him like playing catch with his grandkids. And actually, one of his granddaughters does an impression of him, and I just ripped off her impression where she goes, they're talking about granddaddy or Paw, whatever they call. I think they call him Paw. And I'm like, Nolan Ryan's not a Paw. He's Grampy Nolan Ryan. You know what I mean? He's at least a Pop. And they say to Nolan Ryan, they go, his granddaughter goes, "Hi, I'm Nolan Ryan for Advil." She's like 13. It's hilarious. Adam, what's going on, brother? 7 home runs in the series. Hells yeah, Phils. Jimmy the Foot. What's going on, Jimmy the Foot? What's up, Farzy? Phillies looking good. Hope they keep going at the right time. But they're an exciting team to watch, and I've missed that over the years. Look at that. Oh, here we are. We're back. We're back, baby. April. Yep. Could you imagine pulling Cliff Lee or Roy Halladay from a no-hitter? They would have punched someone. Yep. April, absolutely. Jason A. misses Crow. So do I. IBH, Steve Carlton had 4 Cy Young Awards and pitched 254 complete games. Holy Stromboli. Ugh. Don't come back. April makes a good point. Ryan Howard, after the home run derby, he was cooked. I believe he won that, if I'm not mistaken. The one he won, you mean? Because Bobby Abreu won, and then I think Ryan Howard won. I want to say that one was in Cincinnati. But yeah, it can mess with the swing. Hey, Chester. What's going on, Chester? Fan since 1957. There you go. Wow. That's awesome. So you experienced the Whiz Kids and the 64 collapse. God bless you. Twiz, dirty clothes going to get ripped to hell. That's hilarious. April, I volunteer at a local shelter. I like animals more than people. That reminds me of the Bill Murray line. It's like, I will meet a person and I'll trust a person, but if my dog doesn't trust that person, I then don't trust that person. Chester, this is the funnest team I've watched in a long time. He's been a fan since 57. That's awesome. Oh, Joe Whip, feeling better. It's all over LA. I'm sorry to hear that, man. Facing Nola is an amazing film. Got to see him pitch in person. Amazing. Jeffrey Todd, didn't the Phillies beat Nolan in the epic 1980 NLDS? Yes, they did. Yes, they did. That was on ESPN Classic some years ago, and I remember watching that, at least some of it, and just being amazed. And then it also was highlighted in the Facing Nolan documentary. Ooh, wait, hold on a second. Jonathan Harvey, what's going on, Jonathan Harvey? It would be fantastic for me that Paul Skeens and Tarek Skubal start in the All-Star game if only the Phillies had both of them someday. Yeah, that'd be pretty awesome. That'd be pretty amazing. Thanks, everybody in the chat. You guys are wonderful as per usual. Let's get to the morning rush brought to you by Sky Motor Cars, SkyMotorCars.com. First and foremost, programming note. For those of you that have been so awesome to follow me over to Locked On Sports Philadelphia, no postcast Saturday night. I have another wedding I have to go to. This one's for my agent, my business manager, my friend, Josh Weinfeld, getting married on Saturday. So I'll be attending those festivities. So no postcast Saturday night. Sunday, there will be a postcast. 135 games Sunday, the last game before the All-Star break. And then after that postcast, I am going to an event at City Winery to host an event with the Jerky Boys. This is my life. I got called in. Somebody couldn't make it. They reached out to me. They said, could you host this? I was like, yeah, Phillies game will be done by then. I'm available. So that's what I'll be doing. Having myself a good time. Citywinery.com. Check it out for tickets Sunday night. Phillies, A's tonight. Give you the pitching matchup one more time. Ranger Suarez will get the start for the Phillies. Looking to get off the schneid as things have not been going Ranger Suarez way as of late. Still 10-3 with a 2.58 ERA. He'll go against Hogan Harris, 1-3 with a 3.22 ERA. Lefty versus lefty. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Is he back from paternity break? They just had a baby. He last pitched against the Baltimore Orioles. And that was back on the 5th. He went 5 innings, allowing 2 runs in that one. The Orioles, by the way, who did they just get beat by? The Cubs. They just got swept by the Cubs. They've scored 2 runs in that series, the Orioles. And the last 2 games, they've gone now the last 2 games without scoring a run. That offense. Go figure. Phillies and A's, by the way. Sorry to get back to that. Phillies and A's, 6:40 start time again tonight in South Philadelphia. So there you go. I will be doing the postcast tonight, so you can see me there tonight on Locked On Sports Philadelphia postcast. So Locked On Sports Philadelphia, make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you like and subscribe to Jacob Media as well. Make sure you like and subscribe to the Farzi Show as well. Thanks for watching. Shotglass Jerky Boys, yes, they are. And active with caller ID now, I think. That's pretty funny. All right, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. You guys are great as per usual. My name is Mark Farzetta. This is the Farzi Show presented by MyBookie, mybookie.ag. Be back with you guys tonight, Locked On Sports Philadelphia postcast. Then back with you guys Sunday, Locked On Sports Philadelphia postcast. Then back with you guys Monday morning for the Farzi Show, of course. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. See you, and have a wonderful week. Bye.